Welcome back. It's time for our community update with Appleton Mayor Tim Hanna. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Well, let's start out with really some new developments just happening last night. City Council approved the smoking ban in city parks. Just tell us a little bit about what this means for the city and what the residents can expect.
Well, this actually came from some residents, and I mean, this is a good example of how local government works, right? Some concerns raised by some residents directed towards their representative on the city council, their alderperson, and they talked, a couple of alderpersons, they put in a resolution to say, you know what, this makes sense. And, it went from, well, maybe we should ban smoking in all parks to, well, let's extend that 20-foot radius. We have that around a lot of all city buildings. Let's extend that around the playground areas. And so it's a good example of just this is how democracy works. People have concerns, their representatives listen, they come, they bring it forward, they discuss, and so this will go to the city council next week. It was approved by the Parks Committee last night.
Perfect. And it really is that example of making your voice heard and
Right.
having that conversation with your alderperson.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
It really is part of that democracy. And now let's talk about some fun events that are happening in the city. Of course, Mile of Music, Mile 6, I can't believe it's Mile 6 already, is coming up first weekend in August. How does the city really prepare for this? This is a huge, huge event.
Well, it's interesting because people say, well, oh my gosh, it must be a lot of work. And, I'll let you in on a secret. What our role, the city's role, is basically get out of the way. We're going to make sure that the trash is emptied every night, that the city's looking good for all those visitors that are coming in, that we have, that people feel safe, that we have, security, we have police presence, but not overwhelming. Those are the kinds of things that we're responsible for. And just to make sure people feel welcome and have a good time and that they feel safe. But what a wonderful event. And it really has become a signature event for us. Just a big thanks to the organizers who bring it in. So many people look forward to this. And if you've never experienced it, if you spend some time during Mile of Music, it's hard to explain. There's just a vibe in downtown and around this event. Just everyone's got a big smile on their face. Everybody's having fun. It's not that big festival party. It's really about the artists and appreciating the artistry. That's what this event has really come to be, because they ask the artists to perform their own music. It's all original music, no cover music, and I think people really appreciate that, and I know the artists they love to come to this because they rarely get asked just to play their own music. And no, it's a great time.
It is. It's one of my favorite events. That's happening August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, which is the first weekend starting Thursday in August.
I'm gonna give you a little teaser. Just pay attention, because we do have some fun things planned and some announcements that do concern the city that are going to be tagged onto this Mile of Music event this year. So.
All right.
Maybe we can talk about that. And,
very intrigued for your next visit. Maybe we'll have to dig into that a little deeper.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And let's talk about social media right now. Social media is huge in the city of Appleton. And like we were talking before, that community engagement, that talking with your alderperson, it's really being used for that.
Well, what a great segue to what we just talked about. We actually received national recognition for best use of social media in local government. And this really came out of our efforts at strategic planning and thinking about communication and thinking about how that's changing today, how people want to receive information, how they want to engage. They don't want to have to come to City Hall to be heard. So they want to be able to use the tools that are available to everybody today. And so we're trying to engage them where they are and to listen to them, not just talk to them. And I think that's one of the reasons that was quoted as to why we were recognized as the best out of those that were nominated. And I'm really proud of that. And you can tell it's making a difference. Because when we have meetings, important meetings, when we have our talking about projects, for instance, the library project, right? We let people know. We use all of our tools available to let people know this is happening. We try to inform them and educate them about what's going to be talked about. Well, the first time we talked about this, we had over 200 people in the room, and they were there for the right reason. They didn't all agree, but they came to listen, and they came to learn, and they came to express their opinions, and that's what democracy is about. And I think social media, when you use it the right way, can really be an enhancement to that democratic system that we have, where you're actually listening to everybody and then making a decision. Not a decision that everybody's going to love or some people aren't going to like, but at least you want people to go away knowing that they've been heard, that you have listened to them, you've taken their opinion into consideration, and then you make the best decision that you can.
And it really does make it a lot easier as a citizen to become active in the
Absolutely.
decisions that are being made. If you haven't followed the City of Appleton, please do so. You can follow them on Twitter and Facebook. It's a great way to engage.
Yeah. You know, one of the fun things that that we do is Wednesday afternoons. It's called What's Your Question Wednesday, and anybody can submit any question they want, and they'll get an answer.
All right.
As best we can. And I think that's one of the things that when people were looking at our use of social media was that engagement. And I think what's happened is we've developed a voice for the city. It's not my voice, it's not council's voice, it's not any one person's voice, it's the voice of the city. And so you treat people with respect, you answer their questions as best you can, you engage with them. I think that's really the key, is that you're representing the city well. You know, we've seen other people in government, you know, their Twitter's popular and everything. I don't have a Twitter account, and sometimes I've been criticized for that, and I said, but there's a reason. Because if it comes from me, politicians and elected people are polarizing just because we're elected. And so if it comes from me, then some people are going to like it, some people aren't going to like it, and it may not have anything to do with the content, right? So it's not about me, it's not about the elected people, it's about the city, and I think that's one of the things that we've done well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Appleton Mayor Tim Hanna, always keeping us updated. We really appreciate it.
All right.
We'll be right back with the Check On Your Forecast after this.